In today's Nintendo Direct, or rather the one that took place on June 9th, depending on when you're watching this, of course, besides some otherwise incredible reveals like Kingdom Hearts 4, getting another look at that, what looks to be a remake of Ocarina of Time, just some like incredible stuff in general there. What caught my attention the most, obviously, was the Xenoblade portion of the Direct, where not only first did they announce like 3 improved versions of the Xenoblade trilogy, 1, 2, and 3, obviously, with like an enhanced visuals, games actually moving at 60 frames a second, which is really weird to look at, especially for me in terms of 2's case. Like, to see that in smooth 60 frames is really, it was really weird, but I kind of lost my mind at the same time. I'm easy to please. But then afterwards, we got a new Xenoblade reveal. Now, this has been like talked about, rumored about for a while, a Xenoblade 4, considering how long it's been between 3 and, well, now. We got XCX, we got the defense edition of Xenoblade X in between then, to kind of tide us over. I still have not finished that. I really need to. I'm so sorry, Alma. But yeah, it was kind of rumored for a while we might be on the cusp of getting a new Xenoblade. It's not Xenoblade 4 that we got. It's Xenoblade Genesis, which looks to be the start of Genesis, haha, funny, of an entirely new arc for Xenoblade. If you didn't know, the trilogy 1, 2, and 3. X is its own separate canon, but for 1, 2, and 3, that's what's known as the Klaus saga. And that obviously concluded with 3 and the Future Redeems. And now we're into something like completely new, which first impressions are, let's just say I'm cautiously optimistic. I was like this with 3 as well when it first got revealed, but I ended up loving it over time. But in Genesis's case, that's really weird to say. But in the case of Genesis, I am very much cautiously optimistic. First of all, what stood out to me most was the visual style. It has a very, how do I put this? Like your typical anime RPG. I don't want to say generic. Maybe I feel that'd be too harsh of a description. Your typical anime RPG kind of, which, yeah, it really does stand out amongst the trilogy and even X. All the games in the Xenoblade series up to this point have had like slightly different art styles because they were trying to work out what worked best for the series at the time, and I think they kind of landed on that with what worked with 3 finally, or at least I thought they did. But as we see here, it looks a lot different. Red flags were going off in my head immediately upon looking at it, because it reminded me a lot of Fire Emblem. Don't take that as me like besmirching Fire Emblem or anything. I have no opinions on Fire Emblem. I personally have no interest in the series either. Like tactical role-playing tactical RPG, that's not for me. That is too much thinking for me. Yeah, it's just not my type of preferred gameplay. But yeah, it bore a strong resemblance to 3 Houses, I thought, especially with how they've got a sort of academia thing going on, or an academia setting, which I really hope doesn't overstay its welcome, because you see a lot with in anime settings, anime games, whatever, that the academia setting is a very common thing. I'd say more of a trope these days, I suppose. Like, it is really common. Like, it's ridiculously common. And I really don't want Xenoblade to just fall on otherwise generic tropes like that. Xenoblade's always had a genuinely interesting setting. Like, 1, you're exploring around on giant titans. 2, you're exploring around on giant titans again, but, you know, it is a continuation of 2, of one side. And 3 is kind of a desolate landscape of suffering and despair. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think too highly of the school academia setting, because it just kind of reeks of, generic anime in a way. And I don't feel that's what Xenoblade is. But anyway, back to the whole visuals thing, on how it looks like your typical anime RPG kind of thing. How it looks a lot like Fire Emblem. It's a weird one. Like, don't get me wrong, the visuals are really nice. They're really pretty. But they don't stand out to me in the way that previous Xenoblade visuals do. Think of locations in 1, 2, or 3, for example. Okay, just focusing on like 1 or 2. Like, there are plenty of incredible, like, gorgeous locations throughout those 2 games. And there was still stuff in 3 as well. And even in X as well. Yeah, Genesis is very straightforward, I suppose, in its approach, in its art style. Like, it's way more anime. Like, people were complaining that people complaining that 2 was way too anime back in the day. Back 9 years ago. If you were to like show them the screenshot of Xenoblade in like almost 10 years time, I'm pretty sure they would just evaporate on the spot. Do not misunderstand me. I'm not necessarily against the art style. It's just less striking. It kind of doesn't stand out on its own. It's great, it looks good, but it looks good from a objective point of view. But if we're talking subjective, as in my own opinion, I think I'll have to wait to see how it turns out in future. Of course, previously made games, when they first revealed, do end up looking different on the release. And we even got prefaced by saying this was like a very early-ish look at Genesis. So it'd be interesting to see how that pans out, see if they can refine the art style a little more, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, moving past the art style for a second, I want to talk about the characters too. I would say, again, none of them are particularly striking right now. And I understand that's because, well, it's just a teaser trailer. We don't really have a lot to base thoughts and opinions on. But it is really cool to have a female protagonist that's actually the central protagonist. I feel like they were testing the waters in 3 with Mio kind of being, the player 2, I suppose, alongside Noah. And to actually have one now, she looks fun. I don't know if that's the word. No, she does look good. She looks like she has a lot of potential to live up to previous central protagonists' heights. But other than her, no one else really stands out to me right now, anyway. Other things I want to talk about, but the weapon we see her given here, it's a lot-ass sword for that matter. It's more like a rapier. But no, anyway, when it was showing the sword up close, they were implanting some kind of stone into it. There's a little logo thing you can see. That's just straight up the Aegis sword, or rather, Numa's sword, coffee with milk. And yeah, that's really interesting to see, because going into this, thoughts were just, it's just going to be a completely separate thing now. Like, it's going to start forming its own story. But no, it looks like it will still be connected to the original trilogy. Which I think is evidenced more by one of the last lines in the trailer, going about a fallen god. I've seen people talk about how that could be Malos, but personally, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like Malos' character arc in 2 and Golden Country was excellent, honestly. So I don't really see a point in bringing him back. I feel like it'd be a better decision to set up a new villain. like a reoccurring one. Or not necessarily reoccurring, but reoccurring in the sense that Zanza was. Or rather, Ontos, in a way. I just want them to go their own sort of, okay, as much as it does kind of hurt having to come to terms with that, you know, we are in an entirely new world, entirely new universe, I suppose. Entirely new characters. We're not really getting anything but, like, slight callbacks, Easter eggs, references to the past cast. Like, we're on our own. We're on our own now. It's a bit, it's sad, man. At least to me, anyway. The world, in particular, or at least what the few moments we actually get to see of it. First of all, being able to ride around on these creatures. I'm just calling them creatures for now. Yeah, that could be fun. Getting to ride different animals around this vast world. Sure, why not? That's hell yeah. Like, hell yeah, man. Like, Nia, when she has Dromark equipped as her first blade in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, she'll ride on top of Dromark in, you know, when you're running around with her. There's no difference to movement speed or anything like that, but I really hope they do that in here, Genesis, because, I mean, that's fun, running around on magical creatures, sure. You know, that's always a cool thing. Actually, I said there wasn't any other character that stuck out to me at first, but looking back at it, there is this one character who, she's got the long grey blondish hair. I don't know what colour that is, platinum blonde, whatever that is. Anyway, she has a quite a presence as well. So obviously she's going to be a main character, or at least to some degree anyway. I wonder if we'll get a Yuri relationship between them. No, I don't think Xenoblade's ready to take those steps yet, but to go back to the whole tying into other games things, it mentions the 6 sons, or at least they mention of the 6 sons. I'm very vague on what this was in 3, because I don't quite remember it. I think it had something to do with the Ouroboros. So again, tying back to previous games in a way. There's also the otherwise frequent mention of Anima throughout, which is where the world takes place. Which is also something else, like, I believe mentioned in 3. It's been a while since I have actually played through 3, so you have to excuse me here. Going back to the whole world thing, again, when we see the characters traversing it towards the end, you can see it's set out like a sort of halo shape. So who'd have thought that Xenoblade had connections with the Halo franchise? That's weird to think about. But on the mention of the world one more time, and the game being named Genesis, I've seen people saying how this could be this could be the new world after the events of 3, and obviously the genesis of a new story. Genesis meaning the start, the beginning of God. And it's kind of ironic in a way. We already know of a fallen God in this story, so for the game to be called Genesis is a bit, what's going on there, huh? Yeah, anyway, I think I've rambled enough. Like, I'm just scatterbrained at this point. But yes, I'm excited for this, as I would be for any new Xenoblade. I've been anticipating a new Xenoblade for a while, to be fair, which means I will finally have to get my hands on a Switch too. Yeah, it was kind of something to actually like see it brought up, even though, you know, in my head I was like, oh yeah, okay, any day now, you know. But I'm cautiously optimistic, as I tend to be, as I was last time with 3, for example. But, you know, it's Xenoblade. It's going to be good one way or another. It's going to have incredible music. It's going to have just incredible story. And it's going to have an incredible world to explore. Like, that's just the bare minimum of what you expect from Monolith Soft these days. Just the goats of developers. Yeah, I've rambled enough. God. Xenoblade Genesis. It's just a new story, new characters. It's going to be one hell of a ride again.